1, 2.
Okay, Zen team, let's come up front.
What's this? Is this a microphone also? Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, please.
What?
Rally the crowd.
Okay, looking for Jane to come up here. And Josh, sorry to interrupt y'all. Great turnout. Thanks all y'all for coming out here. Really appreciate it. Am I running with everything?
I'll try.
Okay.
I'll try.
Yeah,
of course.
Absolutely. We got all the time in the world for you, Omar.
I'm like literally tweeting it.
Oh, what's up, Steve?
I promised everyone.
Hey, Steve.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, we're about to get, okay, we got Jane and we got Josh and Rob. All right, I'm going to hand the microphone to Rob and we're going to get started. Yeah. Yeah, we got to have you up here, Josh.
I don't know which. All right, you go there first.
We're good, Steve. Awesome. Let's get started.
All right, guys. Hello. Yeah. All right, welcome. Welcome to our Zen pre-launch party. Yeah. All right. All right. Yeah, so I apologize. My voice is horrible. This is the second conference in a row I've been to, and these things are too much fun. I can't stop talking, so my voice is just shot. If it gets really bad, just force me to give the microphone to Rolf, okay?
I know how to talk.
Yeah, he can talk, and he sounds a lot smarter. Okay, guys, so I am Rob Viglione. That's me. I'm part of the core team. This has been a whirlwind of a project, and I'm so happy we're here right now. And this cannot happen without an incredible team. And the team is really the best part about what we have going. You'll see this is a truly grassroots project, and we mean that, fundamentally at the core. And as this kind of open source grassroots project, we've been exploding so quickly and so much more, so much faster than we thought possible. So for tonight, this awesome event, that's ZenChick right there. She's at ZenChick on the forum. You probably see her. She bosses me around on a regular basis. That's my wife. So yeah. So we've got the team here. This is the mastermind behind Zen. So this is Josh. You'll hear more from him. Yeah. So we've got Jane right here. She doesn't look Asian, but she's truly Asian. And she's actually going to be, or she has been handling a significant expansion into Asia. So that's something that we're trying to do from the start instead of as an afterthought. Okay? And then Rolf right here, this is our genius miner, genius entrepreneur, successful entrepreneur previously, and he's our operations guy. So he's yelling at us all the time, and he keeps us honest, and he keeps us moving. So that's awesome. Yeah. So really what we're doing here is, we're partying. I mean, this is just an amazing time in history with this whole crypto revolution that's going on. We hope to be a big part of that. So what we're doing now is I just want to introduce you guys to the team. You have us here up front. Actually, the guys behind the scenes that actually make this stuff possible. Yeah, exactly, Jake. Don't hide back there. So Jake, give it up to him. Yeah. Everything that's going on right now, and he brought his buddy Matt down here. These guys have been working behind the scenes like crazy, troubleshooting real time, which you have to expect. There's always going to be problems last minute. That's what happened. But here we are, and everything's good. So, okay, let's. Yeah, absolutely. Let's do that. Okay, well, here's who I am. I'm currently getting my PhD. It's kind of like a mid-career, move for me. Prior to that, I was a physicist, mathematician, and then I got into some military intel work. So a common thread between us is there's no conspiracy theory here. We're just a bunch of old military officers as well. We're not backdooring this by any means. Yeah. So my background came out of that, kind of space technology area. And then I got into economics, consulting, and now I'm going back for my PhD as an old man. So that's what I'm doing right now. But the cool thing about that is that one guy here in the crowd, Colin Jones, Dr. Colin Jones, he's a visionary academic, and he actually allows me to teach Bitcoin and blockchain applications in finance at USC. So I don't know where he is, but Colin, you're awesome. And that's a really cool class. So it's amazing just the young talent and how enthusiastic they are about this technology. And it really is kind of like a movement, you can tell. We're kind of a bunch of old people here compared to the next generation that's being trained in the universities right now. And these guys get it. They come from the peer-to-peer file sharing world to begin with. They can't see another world. So cryptocurrencies make sense to them. Okay. My life goals, I think this is kind of important because a big part of this project is who we are and the visions that we have for it. I want to decentralize a lot of stuff, okay? I want to decentralize governance, I want to decentralize the internet, and I want to decentralize finance, okay? That's why I'm getting my PhD in finance, right? Right? So I've been working some projects to make that happen. ZClassic right here, we had going. This is our first use case with the ZK Snark technology, and we grew this grassroots community on ZClassic. So that was really cool. The Seasteading Institute. If you guys haven't heard about this organization yet, you should, because we're actually doing startup societies offshore. A lot of the land masses are taken by governments. We're just going a little bit offshore, and we've got some really good backing and some really smart people working on that project. I was just in Tahiti last week working on it, and they want to integrate blockchain technologies from the start with everything. Land title registration to their currency. So a lot of cool stuff going on. Some other projects that I just have some history and experience with on the BitShares and BlockPay teams, trying to actually get merchants to start using crypto, because I think that's a big deal. And you'll see this team, we're all about usability for crypto. I love the store of value use case for crypto, but even better will be when I can go buy my coffee seamlessly. So that was what these projects were all about. And I started back in Afghanistan with the CIA-looking dude over here who's kind of, hanging out in the corner right there, just watching everything. So Adam, he's an awesome guy. I know a lot of you guys probably already know him. If not, I'm sure you will by the end of the night. So we did what we think was Afghanistan's first Bitcoin transaction. I bought a way too expensive cigar now that I realize how valuable Bitcoin is. Okay. Yeah, that was a problem. I bought that when Bitcoin was like $40. But anyway, yeah. So here's Josh. What I'll probably do is I'll let these guys talk about their backgrounds because they obviously know it a lot better than I do.
Hey guys, glad you guys can all make it out. So I'm Josh Yabbitt, Move RCX on the internet, the core developer. So I started off with ZClassic with Rhett Crichton. We started that project is basically a community-oriented Zcash. We did a lot. We accomplished a lot. We released the first open source mining pool for Zcash derivative coins, and that's beating Zcash to the market. We also did significant amount of work porting over libsnark, which is the zero knowledge library, to create Windows wallets. And this is ahead of Zcash as well. So we're doing a lot of things to outreach to the community, basically for free with ZClassic. And essentially what we determined was, hey, we want to do this full time. How can we make this happen? Because I was burning the midnight oil. Previously, I was the NASA Langley Red Team lead, so I did cybersecurity research on the offensive side. So I'd like to pair my skills with the project as far as basically circumventing censorship systems and basically make borderless payments a reality, borderless communications, basically making peer-to-peer on a global scale a reality. Yeah, I'm a founder of ZClassic, also a military officer, just like everybody else. Love Bitcoin. I remember buying it at like 33 cents and flipping it for $3, and I was like, holy shit, this is a lot of money. But yeah, glad to be here. Feel free to talk to me, and thanks again for coming out.
Yeah, I think Rolf, you're up next, right?
Hey guys, I'm Rolf. You see me as Block Ops on the forum, and I got into the Z Classic group through actually mining. So I ran an IT company. I don't want to go through my whole history, but I went to the Naval Academy, electrical engineer, nuclear engineer, was on a submarine in Hawaii for 5 years and all over the Pacific. Got out, worked in the semiconductor industry, worked for Cisco Systems for a few years, then started my own Cisco Systems reseller back in 2002. Grew it to 60 people, 52 million in sales, sold that a couple years ago, and then I'm like, wow, it's great to have some time. Then I got bored. So I started doing the cryptocurrency mining because I love being in new technology, and new technology is really where it's at. And I love this industry. It is growing so fast. And I tell people, when you're in a fast-growing industry, you don't even have to be that good. You just have to show up. So I showed up. And then the Z Classic team, it's great. Exactly what Josh and Rob said. You know, we wanted to figure out a way to take everything that's good about Zcash and Z Classic and turn it into something that we can use to help people around the world do anonymous transactions, anonymous communications. I have a family. I have 4 kids. I really want to help build a better world for those kids. They're 10, 12, 14, and 17. Thank you. And I see this as part of being able to do that, being able to build a better world. And so this is from the get-go something that's oriented towards the world. Jane's been leading the translation into multiple different languages. We want this to be a usable currency. Lots of focus on reliability, security, wallets, the ability to do communication within the transactions, within the shielded transactions, so there's no metadata leakage, the ability to publish anonymously. So we really want to have a whole bunch of usability into this thing. Mobile wallets, hardware wallets, everything, and then just grow and encompass the entire vision. So we think we've set up a structure. We have a good way to start. We're going to launch a week from now, and then we have a strong roadmap and community that's really going to let us continue. So thank you very much for being part of this launch.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jane. So clearly I'm not a former military officer like the rest of them, but right, okay. But I recently got involved in the project. I was kind of brought on by Rob to head up Asia, and then it evolved into a bit more than that. I've done really helped with strategy in the white paper, and then building out community engagement element. So the part that I'm really excited about is the decentralized global community. People who of all diverse backgrounds, socioeconomic backgrounds, who are able to engage and participate without any friction or border. And so my job here is, essentially I'm here to keep these guys on the right track. So they're the core team, and then I will be on the DAO with a couple other people. We're still picking. And we will balance each other out in terms of the initiatives that we do. So I'm really interested, actually, in once the Zen system is really built out, building companies on top of it that are doing things like financial inclusion, remittances, all across Asia. So that's why I'm here. That's my vision. So thank you guys for being here. We appreciate it.
All right, guys, we have a big community, but we have some notable people here who are in the crowd today even, who have helped us out tremendously. Whether that's doing in the weeds work, coding, or just connecting us with the right people and keeping our heads focused in the right direction. It's been amazing. So just a little bit of a thank you to all of these people. It's been great. All right. Now, who knows what Zen actually is? I don't know if I do, because it's meant to evolve. But yeah, it's forming, exactly. But really, at the core, that first bullet is exactly what we want to be. The world's most secure network for communications and transactions. So we keep it simple, and if we can build on that vision, I think we can do some of the cool stuff. So we're integrating essentially multiple best-in-class technologies. So we're not reinventing the wheel here. We're plugging into some really cool stuff like IPFS, GNU-net. We're using Zcash's ZK Snark technology, right? So we're integrating some really cool stuff to have what we think will be a very unique platform. Okay, we're building. This is really important. We're building a rapid grassroots movement, and I think that what we're seeing in the community, there's a big market for grassroots movements where where we're not like a big top-down organization. We're trying to be truly decentralized and keep it decentralized. Okay. What else we got here? Really trying to bring the world together one block at a time, right? So we're staying global. Like I said, Asia's a big market for us from the start instead of just thinking about it as an afterthought. And some of the big stuff we're doing is with the funding model. So we're doing like a treasury type model where we can actually organically fund growth projects rather than seeking external capital. And that's going to be a really important element of our growth strategy as we move forward. Sorry, my voice is killing me. Roth, do you wanna run forward here?
Yeah. Okay. No, that's cool, Rob. Thank you. We do have a white paper. We put a lot of time and effort into it, and that puts together our vision and some of the roadmap. I encourage you to go to our website and download it. It talks about really how we're going to launch and our governance model, and then our vision for what we want to do in the future. Okay, so the technology is pretty straightforward. I know I talked to some of you in the crowd, and you're like, well, I am excited, but I don't really know what it is that Zen is doing. So I'm going to assume that all of y'all are familiar with the cryptocurrency space. So Bitcoin, so ZCash added an essential element to Bitcoin, I think, which is the ZK Snark, which is a shielded transaction. So you can send with Zcash either fully transparent transactions, which are just like Bitcoin transactions, or fully shielded transactions. So the blockchain only knows that a transaction was made. It doesn't know who sent it, who received it, or what the amount was. And so in some cases, anonymity is really important. Zcash also added the ability to add a 512-byte message field to the shielded transaction. And you can send a shielded transaction for a very small amount of currency. So we're taking the ZK Snarks, which is a great technology, and I think Zcash announced recently that they're partnering with JP Morgan to bring that type of technology to the banking industry, which further validates what it is that we're doing. And that gives us the ability to, as a starting point from technology, build out. So I have a networking background, so my feeling is, okay, we got to build out a really strong network. So part of the mining rewards are getting redirected. We're redirecting 12% of the coin-based rewards, which would typically go just to miners. So we're taking a best practice page from Dash and redirecting that towards things that we want to help build the organization. And that is, so 3.5% goes to what we call secure nodes. So that's going to be going to nodes that meet certain requirements for security, resiliency, and staking a small amount of Dash, not Dash, a small amount of ZenCash on the node itself. So we're telling them they got to put 42 ZenCash on their node if they want to get rewarded, which is going to, people have complained and said, well, not everybody's going to be able to do that. And you know what? I don't want everybody to run secure nodes. I want IT guys that understand security and resilience and servers to run secure nodes or be hired to run that for people. And I want them to put ZenCash at risk because I want a few thousand nodes out there that are going to be able to run this because we can't do anonymity and security without having a whole bunch of nodes out there. So 42, we all know it's the answer. Figuring out the question's the hard part, right? Hitchhiker Guide to the Galaxy reference. Okay, so censorship resistance. So besides security, really Josh has been instrumental in bringing together some of his experience at NASA from the latest cybersecurity type things. So we're putting in domain fronting, which essentially allows you to use a content distribution network service to hide where it is that people are going. So this would essentially allow people in countries that have typical cryptocurrencies blocked at the internet border still continue to use ZenCash. We're also going to do some other types of grassroots things. So one of the things we're doing is working to port it to be able to run on Raspberry Pi. And worldwide, we're going to encourage people to set up nodes all around the world so that they can continue to do the communication and transaction. What if you could put this on a Raspberry Pi and go into a university building and plug it into the network and the power supply, and all of a sudden, boom, you have a node up and running and helping you get your transactions. So this is part of the distributed organization of what we're doing. So there's a lot of things like that. We're focusing, everything is on decentralization, worldwide, communications, and transactions. And there's going to be other things that grow and add. And just like organization. We're going to evolve and continue to find out new things as we do stuff, but we've experienced that before. No, what's next? Okay, so, I mean, we picked the word Zen for a reason. I mean, there's a lot that goes into that. I would love to see world peace. There's a lot between now and then for that to happen. But you can all have a goal, right? So I am concerned that over the years that I've seen more and more control of people by the state. And it's very difficult to do what you want to do if everybody knows your business. And there's got to be a right to privacy. There's got to be a right to, and we don't all, not everybody in the world lives in a great country like America. There's places like Venezuela, like Syria, like Turkey, where if you do things that the state doesn't approve, you could be killed. I would see those people as being the ideal customers for ZenCash, to be able to do transactions, to be able to do communications in a completely secure and anonymous manner. So we're hoping to help make the world a better place. All right, so we're all on the same page here, and y'all might not have known, but we were planning on launching today, and Josh has been working with the community development team, and we thought we had everything up and running. We were very excited about it, and we figured out that there was a slight technical problem and that we need to go back, and we've already identified it, and we already have a plan to do it, but it wasn't going to be able to be fixed in the 2 hours before launch because this is being done as a chain split from Z Classic. I might not have explained that. So typically, when a new currency launch is done as a fork, and it starts out at the first block, and then everybody starts going from there. We're doing this as a chain split. If y'all were familiar with Ethereum and Ethereum Classic, that was done as a chain split. So everybody that had Ethereum got Ethereum Classic. But we're doing this in a controlled, planned manner. So everybody who was invested in Z Classic up to block 110,000, which happened Thursday last week, is going to be getting an equivalent amount of ZenCash. And our lead exchange partner, Bittrex, is already working with us on that. The wallet technology is there, so you can just export your private keys from Z Classic and import them into your ZenCash wallet. And so this rewards everybody in the community who's helped us get to where we are so far, and it's actually a new model for launching a cryptocurrency. We're going to have 1,375,000 tokens available immediately, so there isn't going to be a crazy price spike, hopefully. We're going to have the ability to do a lot of different things. And one of the things that we made sure we needed to do, and that actually caused the issue, is we've put transaction replay protection into it. And that still is kind of an issue with some of the currencies that have gone through forks and chain splits. If you send, like, for an example, an Ethereum transaction to Ethereum Classic, it'll go. And that we don't want that to happen. We don't want to have a ZenCash transaction be able to be sent to Z Classic. So anyway, there's a lot of things that we're going to do, but for tonight we're going to celebrate. So thank you for coming out and celebrating with us. Really appreciate it.
So although we couldn't launch tonight, which is unfortunate, we do have an announcement to make. So I would like Simon to come up here, please. And Simon, make the announcement for us.
All right, thanks, Shane. So we have an app right now called BitMaker. We have hundreds of thousands of users across the world in 187 countries. They download and try out new apps, products, and services, and they receive Bitcoin and Ethereum. We're proud to announce that we're going to start a partnership with ZenCash, so our users all around the world can get transaction-free, paying with no transaction fees, with Bitcoin being a problem, and allow hundreds of thousands of users to start adopting ZenCash right away. So it should be pretty exciting. So, yeah, thanks, guys.
Thanks, Simon.
All right, guys. I need a drink. I don't know about you guys, so let's party.